What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and it has been a crazy 24 hours. We got a lot to discuss, and we literally do not have a lot of time. So, like the video as the intro plays, we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
One, please. When you reach out to me, make it make common sense, please.
Do your intro.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Come on, y'all piss me off. Shoot.
Are you okay?
Oh, Lord. Get away from me. Damn!
Mima!
Okay, guys. So, before we get into anything, I know I have a lot of Trump supporters, straight shooters, and guys, we just have to have an open, honest conversation. So we have a lot of people who we have lost in the last maybe like day or so. So let's get into that first, and we're going to move into the Trump stuff. Let's start with Shannon Doherty. Rest in peace, Shannon Doherty. She just passed away, guys. It says Shannon Doherty dies at 53 in California. If you don't know or hadn't been following her recently, she had been battling cancer for some years. Shannon Doherty, best known for her starring roles in Beverly Hills 90210, has died in Malibu, California. TMZ has confirmed. Her rep, Leslie Sloan, tells TMZ, "It was with heavy heart that I confirmed the passing of actor Shannon Doherty. On Saturday, July 13th, she lost her battle with cancer after many years of fighting the disease." Sloan continued, "The devoted daughter, sister, aunt, and friend was surrounded by her loved ones, as well as her dog, Bowie. The family asked for their privacy at this time so they can grieve in peace." In 2015, Shannon was diagnosed with breast cancer, but her disease went into remission for a period before returning 2 years later. At the time, she told Good Morning America, "It's going to come out in a matter of days or a week that I'm stage 4. So my cancer came back, and that's why I'm here. I don't think I processed it. It's a bitter pill to swallow in a lot of ways." Of course, Shannon became a household name for a role as Brenda Walsh in the popular 90s TV show Beverly Hills 90210. She left 90210 after 4 years, but made several guest appearances as Brenda in the reboot. I'm at a point where I think that 52, 53 is extremely young. People are living into their 90s. So, Shannon was definitely a part of my childhood. I was a CW kid, so I watched her show Charmed. It's really sad. Let's get into this really quickly. Luenell shares touching tribute to her late husband, No More Suffering. So if you don't know, Luenell is one of my favorite comedians. Luenell is also one of the few people before my channel grew who was willing to come onto my channel. So I will never forget that. She, you just have a random person asking you for you to come on their channel. Very few people at her level would do it, but we just couldn't work out the scheduling. But it's really dope that she would even do that. Comedian Luenell shared a touching tribute on Instagram to her ex-husband, known to her fans simply as Mr. Rarely. In June 2023 Instagram post, she revealed that her ex-husband passed away from a severe illness. "No more breathing machines, no more needles, no more suffering. It's over," wrote Luenell in the post, accompanied by several images of her and Mr. Rarely celebrating the good times, including photos from when they tied the knot in 2001. "Even though they were no longer legally married, we remained in each other's hearts until the very end." So shout out to Luenell for that tribute to her ex-husband. We got another one. Richard Simmons, dead at 76. We're told that Simmons fell in the bathroom in his home, though it's unclear if that's where the housekeeper found him. LAPD's Elite Robbery Homicide Division responded to his house because this is a high-profile death that they still do not suspect foul play. Richard Simmons, the legendary fitness guru, has died at 76, TMZ has learned. Now, what's really kind of strange about the Richard Simmons thing is maybe about a year or two ago, people were saying that he was being held captive in his home. And even after it was determined that he wasn't being held captive, we still never got to see him. Law enforcement sources tell TMZ police and fire responded to a call from his housekeeper just before 10 a.m. Saturday and pronounced him dead at the scene. We're told no foul play is suspected at the time, and cops are investigating it as a natural death. Richard Simmons, thank you. I never got so many messages about my birthday in my life. I am sitting here writing emails. Have a most beautiful rest of your Friday. Love, Richard. So that's the last thing that he wrote. Shockingly, Richard Simmons posted multiple times on Facebook recently, including thanking his fans for all the birthday wishes he received. He was born in New Orleans in 1948, later attending Florida State University, where he got a bachelor's degree in art before he moved to Los Angeles. Richard Simmons is, I don't remember much about him other than the fact that he was known for his hair and he was like a fitness guru. But I know that he has a lot of fans out there. And I didn't know about this until I was in the comments. So thanks to the straight shooter who let me know. Dr. Ruth also passed away at 96. It says Dr. Ruth Westheimer, the iconic sex therapist whose cheerful and disarming advice helped educate millions of Americans about sexual desires and practices, has died. I've never seen grandmotherly. Westheimer was a leading advocate of sexual education for decades, dispensing colorful, witty advice in her distinctive German accent. Dr. Ruth, as she was more commonly known, died while her two children sat alongside her at her home on Friday at around 11:30. Okay, guys. Queen B. Moore said he's actually a fitness pioneer. Okay, so let's get into this because as we all know, we heard about what was going on yesterday at this rally for Trump. I didn't want to go live because, you always find out more the next day and who knows, I might drop the link. This isn't going to be like a super long video though. Excuse me. Gandhi says, I'm so glad to be a member. Love your content, Mims. And Mrs. C60 Virgo says, good morning, Mims. Everyone have a wonderful day. Thank you, guys. And thanks both for being members. Okay. So, again, we're about to have an open conversation. You guys know I don't really do a lot with politics because I'm really kind of tired of it. If you follow the channel, I'm tired of it. But we need to be realistic, and we are at a space and time where people dabble in conspiracy theories all the time. So now we're at a place where the conspiracy theories are coming out about Trump. Now, a lot of people felt like this was staged yesterday. When I saw that, one person actually lost their life and two were injured, I knew that part wasn't staged. But I will say this. I want to start here. There was a man at the scene. Oh, first off, this is the gunman. The gunman who attempted to assassinate Donald Trump was identified as a 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks. He has one hell of a forehead. Let's see. Somebody gave an actual the BBC News actually had a guy come on who was there, and I want you guys to see this and then we'll discuss, because this is driving a lot of the conspiracy theories. Here we go. Let me know if you guys can hear it. No, no, sir. Okay. Let's do this again.
We walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, but we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on.
Say what now? In what world do we have not only a presidential candidate, but a former president at a rally when tensions are at an all-time high, and people are saying we can clearly see a man climbing up a roof with a gun, and they act confused, and they act like they don't see it? This is one of the reasons that people do not believe that it was real. In any situation where you have somebody that high profile, whether somebody is sending in, a bomb threat, or if somebody is sending in, any type of warning that something could happen, everybody needs to be on high alert. How could you have a whole rally where people have the ability to climb on a roof, and that is not secure? How is that possible, y'all? Let's finish.
We're like, hey, right here on the roof, we can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see.
I'm really trying to make sense of this. How do you have a presidential nominee doing a rally and the backside of roofs are not secure? Anytime you have somebody center stage and people are at a higher height, similarly to the snipers that were on the roof, protecting Trump. The problem that I have with politics today, and a lot of things today, is we are in a conspiracy theory world. It's a conspiracy theory mindset. And I don't think that there is a place, space, or time that somebody running for political office needs to fear for their life. I really don't. I don't wish death on anybody. I'm a very direct person. Trump ain't my cup of tea. I don't wish death on anybody. Be mad if you want, I don't know. In this situation, the conspiracy theories are going to ring out, because this makes no sense. Trump is one of the most loved and hated politicians in the world. How do you not have a secure place for him to conduct his rallies? Moreover, anytime we talk about gun violence, it's everybody deserves a right to have a weapon. Does the gun violence does that conversation change? This is a real ass question. Does the conversation change now that your life was allegedly in danger? And don't get me wrong, I do think that people should be able to protect themselves. But how many times are we going to see this particular type of rifle used to assassinate people, kill children? This is why we have to have real conversations across the aisle, as opposed to I hate Democrats or I hate Republicans or it's the far left or it's the far right. Until we get some type of like bipartisan, this is going to be the result. How are we not seeing this? Am I the only one? I know that this is a hot button topic. This doesn't make sense to me. This man literally said he was telling the police.
Absolutely. We're pointing at them. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police are like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain?
He's better than me. I don't know how many of y'all out there like me who can say that you've had guns pointed at you. I've had guns pointed at me by a police officer or 2 police officers. I've been robbed at gunpoint twice and an attempted carjacking. If I see a gun, I'm taking off. This man was much better than me, even trying to alert the police because he really does love Trump. After you have had guns pointed at you, the story changes. I definitely would have been trying to take cover. But the fact that this man is trying to alert the police, and it's not just the FBI, the police were there as well. People are saying they don't believe him. See, that's the problem with conspiracy theories. This man was at the rally. This man, technically, for trying to report this, should be considered a hero. But we're so fixated on conspiracy theories now that this man is now lying. What the hell reason would he have to lie for? Why would he need to lie? This is the dangerous rhetoric that I keep telling you guys about. If everything is a conspiracy theory, then you can prove anything that is actually factual to be wrong. That is not, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Let me see. So then, I want to point out that a lot of people came out and spoke very positively about Trump and about how this serves no purpose in politics. And that I agree with. But now we have a situation where they're saying that he wasn't shot. Let me show you this. Let's see. I had it queued up. Okay, here we go. It says Trump says he was shot with a bullet hitting his upper right ear. Former President Donald Trump said on social media that he was shot in the upper right ear during a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. He said that there is no information yet on the shooter, who is now dead. Now, that's what he said. But then TMZ is saying, update, Donald Trump was reportedly hit by glass during the shooting at rally. According to TMZ, a source who has spoken with a member of the Secret Service says Donald Trump was reportedly not hit by a bullet. A bullet hit the former president's teleprompter and the glass struck his ear. So now we have Trump, saying it was a bullet. The CIA are saying it was a piece of glass. You have eyewitnesses who says, and it wasn't just that one guy, multiple people said they were reporting to the police on deck that there was a man climbing up a roof with a gun, and they did nothing. What do we do with this? Literally, and I'm not even trying to be funny. This is me being as real as I can with you guys. What do we do with this? We are at a stage where nothing is real. So what do we actually believe in? And when we play stupid games, we win stupid prizes. You cannot continuously mislead people when you are in a position of power and think that the same thing won't happen to you. Fact check. Facts about Trump's misleading claims about the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol. Former President Donald Trump said during his debate with President Joe Biden last week that the January 6, 2021 attack on the Capitol involved a relatively small group of people who were in many cases ushered in by the police. That is not even a conspiracy theory that can hold. We all watched January 6 happen. It is dangerous, guys. No matter who you choose to vote for, it is dangerous to allow any politician to make shit up like this. We all saw no police ushered in anybody into the January 6th debacle, whatever the hell you want to call it. Attack on democracy. That's what January 6th was. We cannot keep dealing. No matter if you vote for Trump or you vote for Biden, we cannot keep letting these there has to be some factual stuff. Everything cannot be a conspiracy theory. And now we get into the fact that I was watching for Trump's response once it happened, but the first thing I saw was Trump Jr.'s response. And let's see. Okay, here we go. Trump Jr. says his father is in great spirits at hospital after shots fired during PA rally. He said, I just spoke to my father on the phone and he is in great spirits, Trump Jr. told Fox News Digital in a statement. He will never stop fighting to save America, no matter what the radical left throws at him. But the shooter was a Republican. The shooter was a Republican who gave $15 to one Democratic something. Let me pull it up. We're at a really weird space. Let's see. So again, this is the gunman. No comment. So he worked in a nursing home kitchen. The weapon used, it says the father purchased the weapon at least 6 months ago. He graduated in 2002. So he's only been voting for 2 years. Bethel Park School District can confirm that the alleged shooter in the July 13, 2024 assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump is a graduate of Bethel Park. He graduated from the class of 2022. Let's see. Okay. Democrats knew what they were doing with the Hitler comparison, says Donald Trump Jr. In the past half hour, Donald Trump Jr. has posted on X that Democrats and their friends in the media knew exactly what they were doing by implying Trump was literally Hitler. So this is being used as red meat for a base. The expectation is that everybody else in politics is supposed to kind of like comply with the status quo. Everybody put out these nice statements. Everybody said that there's no place for this. Everybody checked on him. But the spin is now it's the Democrats' fault because they compared Trump to Hitler. Help me out, y'all, because I'm trying to understand. This is why I don't like F with politics in general. Let's see. Secret Service. It's untrue that Trump's team asked for extra resources. Some more comments now from the Secret Service who have released a new statement. Anthony, a spokesperson for the agency, says there is an untrue assertion circulating that a member on Donald Trump's security team had requested extra security resources and that the request was rebuffed. This is absolutely false. In fact, we added protective service resources and technology and capabilities as part of the increased campaign travel tempo. What we know about Matthew Crooks. He is now no longer with us. Crooks was from Bethel Park in Pennsylvania, around an hour from when the rally took place. He was a registered Republican, according to state voter records. But according to Reuters, when he was 17, he made a $15 donation to Act Blue, a political action committee that raises money for left-leaning and Democratic politicians. He graduated in 2022 from Bethel Park. He received a $500 star reward for the National Math and Science Initiative. He looks like he's good at math. His father said he's trying to figure out what happened and would wait until he spoke to law enforcement before speaking. Law enforcement officials said on Saturday Crooks carried no identification to the site of the shooting and had to be identified using other methods. So you can go to a rally without showing your ID? Right. Not all Republicans want 45. I get it. I get it. I don't know what to make of this, you guys, but the conspiracy theories. Spiritual Gangster says Luenell is from Toledo, I guess Arkansas, where my family is from, 5 miles from Skulls, Arkansas, I guess. My dad, first cousin Jocelyn Elders is from there, first Black Surgeon General. Okay, just giving us some facts on Luenell. Peaches and Cream says, good morning, Mims. Love your channel. Thank you. Negla, this had to be staged, allegedly. Dude is talking to the reporter with the beer in his hand. You could see, but the police couldn't. Fake. Robbie, did the Secret Service see him? I have no idea at this point. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss. Matoya Caleb says he didn't get in. He was outside of the rally. I'm like, part of me wants to go ahead and drop the link real quick, but I feel like this is too hot. The state of politics is sad. So y'all are seeing pretty okay. So put a 1 in the comment. I mean, put a 1 in the comments if you feel like it was staged. Put a 2 in the comments if you feel like this was real. Stephanie, I don't know if I want to drop the link on this one. Not a 1.5, 2. Okay. I don't know. They trying to mess me up. Be more sure. 2. Okay. I feel like this was real because somebody's actually dead. Do I think there's something fishy about all of it? Absolutely. But somebody lost their life. A bystander. Oh, we got a lot of 1s. I'm going to drop the link, but first, when I drop the link, I want to hear from a Trump supporter. I'm going to drop the link. If you're not a Trump supporter, I don't want to hear from you yet. I try to be, if you're new to the channel, I definitely try to be fair, and I want to hear from a Trump supporter their stance. If you are not a Trump supporter, I really will just drop you down. I really want to hear. I want to be fair, and I want everybody to get their voice out. So the link is dropped. Again, if you are not a Trump supporter, then I'll let you talk later. But for now, just click the link if you are a Trump supporter. I don't care what race, I don't care what sex or anything. I just want to hear from you and how you feel day 2. See?
Oh, can you put me in the backstage? I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm just waiting.
Okay. All right. If there aren't any, that's okay too. I just wanted to make sure that we're fair here. We'll start with Arnold's mom, but guys, this is not an all-day thing, so keep it to like a minute. I can't because I got a lot of stuff to do today. What's up, Autumn's mom?
Hi, Mims. How you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay. Let me start off by saying it definitely looks staged to me. I also think 2 things could be right at the same time. I think the people that are reporting they saw what they saw, they actually saw that. But why is it that action wasn't taken prior to neutralize the threat prior to? Rodney, the voice, had did a show last night, and it was so funny when I turned in. He used the same exact words that I used when I saw it. It looked like a scene from Scandal, and you know how in Scandal they'll do anything to win an election to get the emotions up for the people and whatever and whoever a casualty may be. That's just one for democracy as far as they see it. Now, other than that, I just want to say I have attended a rally before. I attended one. It was October 10th of 2010. It also was in Pennsylvania, but this one happened to be in Philadelphia. When I tell you, when I left there, my nerves were so bad because of the lack of security. Because to me, it seemed like it was dangerous and the president or the vice president could have been taken out at any moment. During that rally, it was a midterm election rally. So Obama was president at the time and Joe Biden was the vice president. There was a time when they had both of them on the stage at the same time, which usually doesn't happen. And the way that the area was, it was not secure at all. And when I tell you not secure at all, I'm going to say this. When I got that day, I just was going to attend a rally. As I got there, we walking up the street and it was like, hey, are you with the volunteers? We looked at each other and was like, sure. We ended up walking up and became part of the volunteer crew. They did not ask me.
But whose rally was this?
It was for the midterm elections, like, so whoever was running for the midterms at that time, but Obama and Biden were the key speakers. So we were going to see them. Okay.
So this was a Democratic rally, not quite.
Correct.
Not quite.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. I have a full backstage. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I'm just saying that the lack of them responding the way that they did, to me, it's not uncommon because what I saw back in 2010, it told me then that anything like that could pop up at a rally at any given time.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Otto's mom.
You're welcome. Have a good one.
You too. Let's see. Is it Matoya?
Yes.
Okay. Are you a Trump supporter?
I am.
Okay.
How do you feel? I will say first that I am an independent. I do not believe in Democratic or Republican because if you look at the history shows that it was one party against what Frederick Douglass was, which was a Federalist. So if I was to put myself in anything, it would be a Federalist. But it was Democratic hyphen Republic in the Congress, the history of the Congress that it developed, and then they split off. I went to a rally in Miami on my birthday, November 5th. I believe it was 2 years ago. No, it was a year. It was a year ago, and I've never in my life received so much love and so much support from each other. The president himself we stood out in the rain. And at that time, I have a grandbaby. My grandson was with us. It was rainy.
Hold on, Matoya. I kind of want to stick to how you feel because I don't have a lot of time today. But how do you feel as a Trump supporter about what happened?
I feel that it was not staged. I do watch and look at a little bit of the conspiracies, but I appraise it. So a lot of the stuff doesn't line up with what my fundamental beliefs are. I believe it was it was not staged. I believe that there's been several attacks. That's why President Trump doesn't drink water because there's been attempts, at poisoning his water. He doesn't.
Hold on, really quickly. Who put that out?
Trump showed it. And if you really, he's not gonna give you just flat out, this is what happened, this is what happened. He's gonna give you codes because just like what's her name, Jaguar Wright, she gives you codes because if you flat out say it, the attempts are gonna be even greater. But
hold on, really quickly. Hold on, really quickly, because you're telling me something that I'd never heard. Trump has said that he does not drink water.
It's not that he doesn't drink water from everywhere. He brings his own water with him. He does not drink whatever water is provided for him. He drinks the water that he brings with him because there's been attempts on his life through people poisoning his water.
Okay. So somebody tried to poison former President Trump's water, and he did not give that to like the news stations to run that? Like,
if you look at the news stations, they're all bought and paid for. You know,
well, that would include Fox then too, right?
that would also include Fox. That
But he
includes
does,
pretty much all of them.
but he does give his exclusives to Fox. If a
Not
former,
all not all exclusives are with Fox. If you look at I don't even watch the news anymore because it's so corrupt. You
Mhm,
know, I do watch you. I watch
mhm.
Storm on occasion. I watch more than anything Tori says because her information is factual. She has
Who?
receipts. Tori
Who?
says.
Tori says, okay, I'm not familiar. Okay.
Look at her. It's ToriSays.com, and then you can also fact check her. You know, with what's going on presently on her ToriSaid.com website, and it's all factual. She has receipts. Um,
I do really want to drill down on this because I don't have much time, but
mhm.
Trump said that his water was poisoned. Did the CIA or FBI put anything out to confirm this?
CIA is corrupt. When you look at government, 97% of our government is corrupt. How can you let anything out when we already know that CIA was the ones that assassinated Kennedy? How do you let something out when you know that the very people that's supposed to protect you are the ones that are endangering you, that are endangering our country?
I personally do feel like politicians are corrupt, and I do feel like power corrupts, and I feel like that on all sides. But I like having these type of conversations because we're civil towards each other, and I am actually trying to understand. If you feel like 97% of the government is corrupt, is Trump the 3% that's not corrupt?
It's proven. I
It's
mean,
proven.
you look at now. You were talking about J6 that it wasn't no cops let them in, but then you look at what was released that had to be released, and you see literally the cops that are working to protect the Congress doors were letting the people in. It's on video. So here we are, and then of course Nancy Pelosi's leaked footage that she takes responsibility for what happened. Of course you should, because she was the one that told them to let them in. This was all a setup. Like if no one could see this as a setup, I mean, you got to do your own research. I mean, you've got to. You've you've got to, because you can't just look at one side. You got to look on both sides and
No,
then
that
weigh it.
I agree with. And after this, I gotta let you go because I do have a full backstage. But if we're talking about the police that did let them in, are we not also going to talk about the fact that they made it and burst through barricades and literally killed police officers? And that's before any police let them in. Like, I think that we have to have open minds about everything, right?
Absolutely.
If the police let them in, but they were led by, their founder and pushed through those barricades, do we not also say that they are at fault? It's not
Well, my question is, who is the founder that you're referring to?
I mean, I would have to go through and tell you everybody who has been convicted, but I don't want to, do that now.
So you have a lot of J6ers that have not even been convicted, but they're serving time. For what reason? They're not convicted. They haven't even been tried in court. They're literally sitting in a prison, and being mistreated at that, for something that they haven't even been charged for. There hasn't been not one court case. They haven't been in front of a judge. They have been put in a prison and been left there to really die. Those that have been released, how many suicides have we had already from those J6ers that have been released?
this is probably where we differ. I don't care if they are in prison. I think that whatever amount of time that they need to do is whatever amount of time that they need to do. And I do feel like democracy. I sat at home during January 6th and I was like, this can't be my America. Like this is not it. And I just said earlier, I don't wish death on anybody. You know, for those people who do wish death on Trump, I don't do that. That's not, well, if you follow me, you know that that's not who I am. But I enjoyed this conversation. You know, there were some eye-opening moments. And I hope that you feel comfortable coming back on if we do more political topics.
I think you should invite Tori Says though.
I don't know who that is.
You gotta look her up. She's on Telegram. She's on X as I don't exist Tor or the Chaos Coordinator. She has a history. She used to work for Obama, and she's a whistleblower from Obama. Like there's some stuff that
I'm
she
probably not
knows.
going to invite her on, but I definitely would invite you or any of the straight shooters who are Trump supporters. Thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time.
All right. See you later.
Okay. See, you're up.
Hey, can you hear me?
I am. I mean, I can.
Okay.
It's been a long morning. I can't hear you.
So the lady that was previous, I weep for you. The fact that you went to a Trump rally and that was the first time you found love in life, that's really sad.
Oh, don't do that.
And you look like
Don't do that. Don't do that. Because
Okay.
I want to have. I like to hear from everybody.
Okay. I'm not trying to be disrespectful because she was very gracious as well. I am very conflicted right now because I know that there's so many things that are put in our faces that aren't what they say they are, and then they are what they say they are. So at this point, I'm really struggling because I feel like, damn, should I be supporting Donald Trump too? Like, should I be going hard for the Project 2025? Like, I'm really conflicted. I personally feel like I'm in the middle. That's why I said 1.5. I feel like it could have been staged, but then I also feel like, yeah, people died. But then when you say that, people are going to still flip it and say, oh, those deaths were fake. They didn't really die. They're in Cuba now or something like that. So I'm struggling right now. It's really hard because I'm about to go to the registration place and change my political affiliation just because
you're gonna change your political affiliation based on a potential conspiracy theory. I think, and this is, I don't know you, but I think that your political affiliation and your vote should go to whomever you feel is for the betterment of you. I think that you should read everything about Project 25 before making any decision and see what actually makes sense for you. Not a conspiracy theory. Like, we can't live off conspiracy theories forever. Eventually this shit has to end. I don't know if it ends when we get all of these older politicians out who are set in their ways. I don't know what the fix for this is. I can't make this make sense, but I cannot live in a space where everything is about a conspiracy theory. And that should not be why you vote in any one direction.
That's how I feel. It just makes me feel crazy, you know, like I don't know how to feel. Like, I'm 25 years old. I'm about to be 26. I graduated college. I thought, you know, by the time I got to this point in my life, you know, everything would be cool. But like now I'm so conflicted now.
You're 25. You're 20. You know how young that is? At 25, I thought I was going to be well on my way through medical school. I was going to have my first wife, a kid or two. Like, 25 is very young.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm not about that, but thank you for saying that, because I feel like I'm behind. And then with all of this stuff going on in the world, I just like, damn. And I wish that I've been trying to like start my social media and like make some money through that, because if I could get that popping, I will move the hell out of, HE double hockey sticks out of this country, because I'm feeling really unsafe. I'm feeling nervous, anxious. Like, I wake up every day like with anxiety, like, damn, what's going to happen next? And then after this, like, I'm in New Jersey right now. So Pennsylvania is right across the water. So it's like,
yes, I thought I was gonna have my first wife. I can't tell you what to do. I don't think any content creator should be telling you what to do. But I do think that you at 25 are very young, and the conspiracy theories are not it. They're not it.
They're not. Yeah, they're
and that shouldn't sway your vote. Your vote needs to be for the betterment of you. So you need to like research all that stuff, not just take what any politician is saying. Oh, this is good for you. Why?
Yes.
That doesn't, But thank you so much for coming out.
One more thing, really quick, too.
Okay.
I'll be quick. The problem I do have with some of these Trump supporters is when you ask them why, they can't give you a reason. It's just all this mumbo jumbo. And it's just like, if you're going to support this guy, at least tell us why. Like, you don't have to. You're not obligated to tell anybody anything. But anytime somebody's asked why, they just can't give a straight answer or just a complete sentence. So it's like, y'all don't even know why you support this man. And then people are talking about tax cuts. Half of y'all don't even have the money to be worrying about a tax cut. So,
like I said, I think you probably need to research those things that are important to you, and don't go based on an interview. Don't go based on a rally. Don't go based on what will benefit C in the long run.
You're right.
All right. Thanks, C, for coming up.
Thank you. And thank you for doing this. I don't care what you said. Oh, don't take advice from commentators, but we need people like you in this world that are making it make sense and trying to actually have the real conversations. You are very needed. Okay. Don't ever let anybody talk.
But in terms of I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do. That's why I say, I know I have a lot of Trump supporting straight shooters. I know I have a lot of body. I just want to have conversations. I remember when there were things that could go bipartisan, and the only thing bipartisan now is taking down TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a damn shame.
That's low hanging fruit. But all right, I'm done.
All right, thank you. Sabra.
Hello.
Hey, how you feel about what happened yesterday?
Okay. If I want to just add to the young lady that's 25 years old, CNN is owned by a Republican who's a donor of MAGA. A few news outlets, Fox included, are owned by MAGA. There are quite a few outlets right now, if you look at your research, are owned by MAGA. Right now is the time for the president, who the Supreme Court has said that is the supreme leader, to enact gun reform as an executive order and force Congress to vote. And my reasoning is this. If you look at the history of Democrats and Republicans, Republicans love guns. We have more mass shootings than any other country in this world. Republicans tend to give prayers and hearts and well wishes when babies are assassinated with war weapons. So why care about this particular shooting? This man just got a scratch. There are more guns in the United States than there are people. Now, in this particular year, 2024, we have had more mass shootings than days of the year. So if you want to ask your Republican Congress people, Senate, House of Representatives, put their money where their mouth is, let's do bump stock, outlaw the bump stocks to make them automatic weapon automatic, and outlaw war weapons. There's no...
Hold on, Sabra. If you don't know what Sabra is saying, there is a component that you can put on a rifle that allows it to shoot bullets faster. That's the layman's way of saying it, right? She's saying outlaw that one part that you can add to a rifle to make it what all these people use to do their mass shootings, right?
Yes. We have had so many moms and dads begging and pleading Congress to stop allowing guns to be freely bought in this country as they are. So everybody here, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, put your money where your mouth is. There is no reason on earth to have a weapon that takes a child and tears them apart where they have to be identified by DNA. Vivaldi much? Now stop playing around with wording and conspiracy theories. Let us be rest assured that if Mr. Trump had death threats or things happening to him, he's such a crybaby, he would have told us by now. So stop it. You people believe in a whole lot of stuff. Why not look at the facts? There are too many guns out here. And anybody that uses a war weapon that can tear apart flesh and has been used on children, it should be outlawed, period.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sabra, for coming up. Today is a day where we're talking to everybody. Thank you so much, Sabra. Let's see. Chanel's reality.
Oh, you caught me off guard. Hi, Mims. Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Let's kind of like to the topic, though. The topic is, how do you feel about what happened yesterday?
Yes, sir. I don't feel that it was staged for a few reasons. Well, first, I'm just not a dum-dum, but let me take that back. I'm not saying people that think they are dum-dums. Let me not say that. But I'm just going to say, I feel like Trump is a very paranoid person in general. So I just don't see him saying, let me agree to have someone pow me or attempt to act like that's what they're doing. Because what if the pow, misses and actually hits him? You know what I'm saying? So it's sort of like, I just don't see anybody who cares about self-preservation saying, okay, let me agree to this. But I will say that there are things that do seem odd, so to speak, like when you go back and you look at what they show you on the news or whatever the case may be. So that's my opinion about what happened. I can't wait to kind of see what's going to happen next with this, how it'll be used. But I personally don't think let me just say this. I can't stand the man. I disagree with everything that he agrees with. So I don't have his back, but I just feel like it doesn't make sense to me, just based on who he is as a human being. He just doesn't seem like he would care that much about it. But it is it's an interesting conversation. And I do want to say this one last thing. Just if we can refrain from blaming this on people who are mentally ill, because I think if you take a pow and you go and shoot at people or pow people, you are evil. There's a difference between being evil and having a mental illness. People with anxiety, that's a mental illness. I know that because I'm a therapist, but I'm just saying we have to be careful and intellectually intelligent in our statements when we say things like that. And I'm not saying anyone has said that, but I know that'll be the next thing. Oh, he was crazy or whatever.
It's okay. You don't have to parse your words here. This is if you're new to the channel and Chanel's not, whenever I do these open panels, I don't have a right or wrong answer. And that's why I let everybody up. And, as long as you are respectful and not cursing anybody out in the comments, I feel everybody has a right to their opinion. So thank you, Chanel, for coming up.
Thanks, Mims. Have a good one.
You too. Amilda says, survival of the fittest. The cognitive dissonance is rampant. The truth seems more bizarre than the lie. People love comfort, so they will go with the lie because the truth is so unbelievable. I think you're on point with that one. Guys, we do have a full backstage, so keep it to about like a minute. What's up, Negla?
Hey, Mims. I was just typing or writing out what I was going to say, but look, first of all, I'm still stuck on first wife, okay? I'm not doing this with you.
I thought that
I did catch that. Anyway, all right. So my parents have been Republicans, you know what I mean, all of their lives. And I am a Republican. I live in Ohio, and I am a member of the Ohio Republican Party. However, I think you made a mistake when you said you only no, not a mistake. I'm sorry. People conflate Republicans with Trump supporters. I do not support Agent Orange at all. And I hated that so many people in the party that I grew up, I'm 47 years old. So I grew up as a Republican. He's not a Republican. He never even was a Republican. And what irritates me more is that my dad would have wished that
Hold on, Negla, because we got to keep it.
Sorry. Anyway.
How do you feel about yesterday?
So I had a conversation with my father, who is a staunch Republican, staunch Trumpican. And I feel it was staged by his campaign to get him. Vice President Kamala Harris has been stumping for President Joe Biden, and she's been doing a good job. But I feel it was staged to stop their momentum. I really do. I'm not a Democrat. And to be honest with you, I don't necessarily agree with everything that President Joe Biden does. But I believe he wants, and I know you got a full backstage, but I just want to make it real quick. It's a really quick analogy. It's kind of like, okay, you leave the house and you ask somebody to watch your house. Okay, Biden might forget to water your plants, but Trump is going to have 30 people come in, rob your house, sell your stuff, get a cut of the stuff, and then act like he don't know who did it. Okay? There's a difference between those two. And I can't roll with Trump. I can't. And I don't understand why so many people are conflating Republicans with Trumpicans, because that's not what I am.
Okay. All right.
Sorry. Anyway.
No problem. Thank you for coming
Bye,
on.
ma'ams.
That's what these conversations are about. These are tough conversations, but everybody has a voice and everybody's voice needs to be heard. Thanks. CL, you're up.
Yo, what's up?
How's it going?
Man, listen. I've been listening to these folks or whatever. I'll start with that rally. I found it to be rather strange that the people behind Trump didn't scatter like roaches when gunfire was going off. When that mass shooting happened in I believe it was Las Vegas at a country music festival or whatever, then people were running every which way. I thought that was strange. I thought it was strange that there were people in military fatigue as well.
Can I stop you really, really quickly? CL, if you look at my thumbnail, strangely, there is a dude smiling in the background. I was like, what is that? So to your point, I did see somebody smiling while Trump was on the ground and his ear was bloody.
Exactly. And the way all them people dove on top of him, it's just madness. I have to agree with with the previous person that was on. I feel like this is something that was staged because Biden gave a really good speech in Detroit just the other day. And just like she said, Kamala Harris has been out here also campaigning. And I just find it really strange that folks are really like drinking his Kool-Aid. Like it's wild. It's weird. It's never really happened before. And as far into the young lady,
hold on, CL. We gotta stick specifically to how you feel about what happened yesterday, because that's the topic.
That is true. And how I feel about yesterday, could it have been staged? Possibly. They accuse everybody else of staging everything, like Sandy Hook, which was real, but there is something weird. Somebody set themselves on fire outside of Trump's New York trial, killed themselves. 2 people died at this Trump rally. And to me, that's just kind of weird as well. So it's in terms of whether I think it was staged or not, it could have been staged because people are willingly outing themselves for him. I mean, who sets themselves on fire for Trump? Who does that?
All right, you brought up some really good points. And I want to point out that the Sandy Hook conspiracy theories, guys, this is what I'm saying when I'm speaking on living by conspiracy theories, letting that like permeate in your thoughts. It makes you paranoid. We cannot live on conspiracy theories. That's one thing.
Exactly. I believe those shootings happened. I believe like things happen, but this here thing right here with him, he's a reality TV star. And I don't know. I really, really don't know. And I just really feel bad for that young lady who thought that should she reconsider Project 2025, because at the end of the day, we don't want more rights taken from us, because that's what Project 2025 is all about. And
So hold on,
so in
hold on.
terms
Hold
of his
on. CL, hold
uh-huh.
on. Thank you so much for coming up, but I do have a full backstage.
I know I'm gonna go. I'm
Thank you
gonna go,
for
and
coming up, and I appreciate your opinions.
thank you.
Thank you. I saw somebody saying it seems one-sided. I cannot offer the stage to everybody, and if Trump supporters don't want to come up, then that's not on me. That's on y'all in the comments who have been offered an opportunity to come up and speak your mind, and you're choosing not to do so. Girlfriends Unfiltered, how do you feel about yesterday? Because we got to stick to the topic.
Hey Moons, how are you this morning? What I feel about yesterday was I just think it is definitely a glimpse in how divided we are. You definitely hit on something really important. A lot of times before, we were able to at least be bipartisan on a lot of different topics. I think now with how the Trumpicans, how your other callers said, is kind of blending in the Republican Party, and it's hard for people to see things. I do think the guy really got hurt. I don't have to agree with him to actually see that. But are they onto something when they say that he leads by performance to get the votes and stuff? I definitely do think that's a thing. I do think yesterday might have backfired on them. And sometimes I think when people are outside just saying stuff, we never know how triggered a person is. We probably didn't expect anything like that to ever happen, but we also seen President Bush get a shoe thrown at him when that happened in some other country, which was very, I would say that was a big thing in the news at that time. So, yesterday, I I hope that with these conversations that people are having, we're just able to discern between what is actually truth and what people are just saying as opinions, though. But I hope that we can move past that kind of thing, because regardless if somebody likes the guy or not, he shouldn't be getting shot at on a podium. That's kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I do hope that we can move past that kind of uh, voting culture, if you say it like that, because people be trying to knock their candidates down. We don't want that. I just want us to be able to have these real conversations so that we can all just see, and we can just do what we need to do, what is required for the life that we live, just like you said earlier. So I'm not going to be up here long. Thank you so much for giving me the time to talk, and I'll be right back down in the comments listening up.
All right, thanks, Girlfriends Unfiltered. Danielle.
Hi, how are you? Good morning.
I'm good. How do you feel about yesterday?
I don't think yesterday was staged. I am a Trump supporter for the fact that I'm a veteran, and typically as veterans, our views, our beliefs align more with the Republican Party.
Okay.
I'm sticking to the topic.
Okay.
I don't think yesterday was staged at all.
Do you have anything else to expound on? Because I feel like you have something to say. It's like right at the tip of your tongue, but you're not saying it.
No, I'm gonna leave it there. Sticking to the topic, I don't think it was staged. I think when you look at the United States as a global world power, a superpower in terms of leadership, strategics, logistics, I think he is the better candidate. I think the Republican Party, the party, not necessarily the person, the party itself is who we need right now, given where we're at and what we've been through in the last 4 years. So, and I think it's a far stretch to think that it was staged. I mean, no, I disagree with that. And I'm going to leave it there, Mims. I just wanted to say I don't think it was staged.
Okay, well, thank you for your service.
You're
What
very
part
welcome.
of the military did you serve in?
Army.
Army. Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Miss Army Vet. Thank you for your service, Danielle.
You're welcome.
All right. Bonji.
Hey, Mims. Good morning.
Hello.
I'm also stuck on the first wife. Anyway, we'll talk about that some other time. I was surprised, a little shocked at what I was seeing on TV yesterday, but then I am not, because the rhetoric on both sides has been very inflammatory. One thing that it brought me to was on January 6th, and how we can see something live on TV with our own eyes, but then you have these talking heads on both sides of the political spectrum interpreting it and somehow trying to convince us that what we're seeing is not what we're seeing. So
Okay.
for me, having chosen to move to America because of the view that I had of America and democracy and right to vote, um, it's become very clear, especially after what happened yesterday, that things need to be toned down by everybody. But most importantly, let's not only focus on the president and the vice presidential tickets. What's happening in our communities? What things are important to us where we live?
Hold on, Bonji.
And which
Hold on, Bonji. We gotta keep it to specifically what happened yesterday.
Oh, and the other thing, just quickly, people are questioning why some people saw the guy and tried to notify Secret Service about yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was not in the area where all the other people that had gone through their metal detectors were. He was like, I think they said 400 plus feet from everybody else. But why Secret Service, who was on other roofs, had nobody on that roof or didn't spot him first, that's where I have my questions. And Trump actually ducked first when something went by his ear, and then Secret Service, to me it seemed like in slow motion, then dove on top of him.
Okay. I don't know, Bonji. I don't know. But thank you so much for coming up. I appreciate you as always.
Thanks, Mims.
K-Ben.
Good morning, Mims. How are you? Good morning, everyone.
I'm good. Where do you stand?
I personally think that it was not a setup. I actually think it was a warning shot. I think that if they wanted to kill him, he would be dead. I think that that was a warning shot. Of course, the guy that shot him was going to die. That was so JFKT. I think that they're warning him. Like, we all kind of think that Trump is against us. And I think Trump is really for us. Trump is not with New World Order One banking system.
Who's us? K-Ben, who's us? Just to clarify.
I mean, like, we as the people, we take Trump wrong because of, his history, his past. We see the insurgent, we see but that guy, before he brings up a good point about the guy setting himself on fire, you should research that and look into the guy and why he did that. But I think that says a lot. But I believe that they're trying to bring Trump down. They don't want him in office because
who's they?
I don't know if you want to say the elites, the higher ups, however you want to call them, the powers that be, don't want him in office. And I believe that was a warning. Just like they tried to get the trials, they're trying so hard to bring him down and they just can't. That was a warning for him. Don't do it. We don't want you in office. That's what I really believe, that they don't want him in office. That was a warning to him. That's just my opinion.
Just to confirm, so you're saying they is probably like high-ranking left officials. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. I want other people to come up.
No problem. Thank you for coming up.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Jay, you're up.
Yo, hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect, cool. First time caller. Just wanted to give him a quick opinion, and just say about what you're asking, how I felt about it. I felt like it was, a normal day on my end. Heard about it, and kind of thought it was crazy because I was talking to a friend about the election and how at this time it just doesn't feel like we don't have real convincing candidates to believe in. And I was saying that one of the three scenarios could happen, which are all knock on wood situations, because I don't want to wish what's the YouTube way of saying
I
it?
mean, this video is probably not going to be monetized.
Oh, okay.
We've already said a lot on this video. It probably will not be monetized.
Yeah, I don't wish the deletion of life on anybody, but what the attempt yesterday is one of the scenarios that I did bring up, and I just found it crazy it happened like a day or two after having that conversation. So I'm I kind of at limbo on how this will go. It could either be a scheme Todd came up with, or they can, Oregon, I don't know how they're going to play off on it, but I'm just going to put my little vote in and see what happens. And I just want to leave it at that.
All right. Well, thanks for coming up. You're welcome anytime, Jay.
Bet. Appreciate it.
We got Matthew. Yes, sir.
All right, my brother, make it make sense for me. How y'all hate on Diddy for rape, but love another dude, Orange Jesus, for rape? Make it make sense.
That's one thing we can't say, but the R word is what he said.
All right, but I'm just saying, make it make sense. Y'all vilify one guy, but love another guy for doing the same crimes. Make it make sense, Republicans. I want to hear that answer, but they can't answer that.
Matthew, how do you feel specifically about what happened yesterday?
Yesterday, I mean, you call for violence, and violence come. That's what you ask for. Right or wrong, you always promote violence, and when violence comes to your doorstep, don't cry now. Same thing we tell people in the hood.
So you feel like it was invited?
Yes, it's always invited. Look at the history of all his things. Violence. Before he became president, he promoted violence.
Can you give me one specific?
I could punch anybody in their face, shoot anybody in their face, and get away with it. Prime example, Trump words.
Oh, that is a good point.
He condones violence. He would tell people at his rallies all the time, punch the people who booing him, I got you, I'm gonna pay your bail money and all of that. But now something happened at his rally, and then people want to call this man a black man. Oh, Trump is black now because he got shot. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. First off, if he was black, he would have ducked and ran like black people do when they hear gunshots. We don't just stand there and watch in the crowd. So I didn't see anybody that was acting like a black person out there.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. I appreciate you. Thank you, and you're welcome to call in anytime. Sir.
Hey, Baton Rouge represent, baby, all day.
Timeless, you're up.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I do think it was staged. Okay. I just think it went sideways like January 6th. The RNC is coming up and he needed a little attention to get away from the topics like he always does. Mm-hmm. And as far as who to vote for or whatever, like you said, everybody needs to do their research to find out what fits them and find out the truth of what fits them, not what's out in the media and what they want you to focus on, because we never focus on what's important.
And I understand people want to vote for Trump because they get more money at the time and all like that, but you're not looking at everything that is involved behind the scenes. All the other stuff that's pushed into these laws and things that are passed. So when you're voting, like Mim says, do your research. Do your research, please, and stop talking about stuff that is not important, especially for us. You want to vote for Trump? Fine. But understand the rhetoric he's putting out there is endangering us. You may be getting that money right now, but what about the people who are dying in the middle of that? At the time, he's putting all this negative information and negative talk. And what are your children thinking when they're hearing it?
Hold on one second. So I am not, if you're new to this channel, I'm not a content creator who tries to silence anybody. I don't delete comments. I don't delete like things that you post under my videos, even if you're reading me. But what we cannot and will not do is make a blanket statement like Black people are cowards. So I never do this, but you are banned from my channel and your comments are deleted. That's what we will never do on this channel. The hell, I'm a Black man. Why would I let anybody come onto my platform and say something or say some bullshit like that? That, you know, we can have differences of opinion, but that's not some shit that I'm supportive of, or that's not something that I let slide. So that person is deleted and they can never come back. All right, Timeless.
You just, and that just proved my point. We have all this negative stuff that's out here about us as Black people. People feel free, the freedom to do what they want and say what they want to us. I understand about the money part, but I don't understand about us being in danger. There's more to life than money. You know, I have 2 kids. I worry about my kids, especially because I have a son. So there's more to life than that. So when you all are going to vote, just do your research and think about it and stop talking just to talk. Make sense when you're talking and talk from the heart, what you really feel, not what you're going off of other people. That's all.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yes, some people are not going to agree with me, which is cool.
That's fine.
You know,
I mean, that's the spice of life, and that's why we're doing this. Because, you know, I don't ever really go over an hour, but this was an important conversation from both sides of the aisle. So that's why we're doing it.
And we don't really get to voice that at all. And I thank you for doing this. And I know this is not your thing, but we sit and we watch, we listen, we hear other people, but we don't get to really talk about how we feel unless it's in our home, around our friends. We don't get to voice it where other people hear us and say, yes, that's what I'm thinking. And that's how I feel.
All right. Well, Timeless, as always, you're always welcome on the platform.
Thank you.
Have a good one. We got a few more and then we're going to call it. Eva, you're up. How do you feel about yesterday? You're muted, Eva. Eva?
Are you able to hear me?
Yes. Welcome.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Eva. Maybe Eva can hear us. Eva?
Hello?
Eva, I'm going to drop you down.
There might be some lagging. I don't know. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I'm going to drop you down, but I'll keep you up. And at the end, we'll try to work it out. Erica, you're up.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So how I felt about yesterday. I do, from the way I watched the events, feel that it was a setup just to, to get sympathy and something like that to seem powerful. But I'm not above thinking that there could be other people involved at legit the Democratic Party, because they don't want him in office, as they shouldn't. The things that I saw yesterday, number one, you got shot, he ducked. But
You stand back up and you stay on stage. And I've had a real problem because I watched some other YouTubers and they're like, oh, he showed such courage and stuff like that. Like, I'm sorry, all I saw was a dumb A. Like,
Oh, you
if
saw
you
the what?
was a dumbass. Sorry, I was dumb A. Because
Oh, okay.
if you want to show courage, you get off stage, make sure you're secure, and then come back. You do not fight your secret officers just trying to protect you. And he's careless with it.
You went out, Br. I mean, Erica. Erica, you went out. Erica, I'll remove you, but I'll keep you back up, and we'll try again with you and Eva. Let me see. Autumn says, Mick, it makes sense. It's not you, it's your followers. I'm black and don't agree Trump is racist in any way. You all sound very biased and fear-based. Here's the thing. When I do these open panels, it is for you guys to come up and share your thoughts. I know 99% of the time, the majority of you in the comments are not going to agree with what the person is saying, and that's okay. That's how people honestly feel. So, that's what an open panel is on this channel. BR, you're up.
Good morning, ma'ams.
Hello.
About yesterday.
Oh, yesterday.
I saw it. I have a 21-year-old, so I immediately called her because I like to get the views of the younger kids in the generation. I'm 50 plus. The first thing she told me was, Mom, that's fake. And so it made me think, why do you say that? She said, that's not real. So I continued watching the news, and I saw people not running as most of us would have probably ran. And I watched it for about 3 or 4 hours, and there was a young gentleman behind Trump that just stood there and was just like, I'm not surprised or anything that was going on. I didn't think it was fake. I still want to say I don't think it's fake. People lost their lives, but people lose their lives over stuff that really isn't real. So, ma'ams, I'm confused. I mean, I didn't cry yesterday. I woke up this morning and turned on the news and just started crying because I just don't know how to feel about my life. Everything happens, and it's just like I don't feel protected by this country, basically. I don't know what to say when it comes to Trump. I'm not a Trump supporter. Not a Biden supporter either. I didn't vote for either one last election. So I'm just confused. I don't know. I don't think it was fake. I just can't believe that it was fake. And then you brought up something that I hadn't heard of because I fell asleep last night about the teleprompt hit his ear. But then I was like, well, if that's the case, why would he go up and say that he was shot? So I'm really confused. I don't know what to think and believe. I believe it was real. But then I don't know what to think. I'm second guessing my thoughts now. I don't know, ma'am. I just don't know how to feel.
I can't make it make sense, to be honest with you. I think Dina has a good point. Everything now is designed to confuse us. And it's one of these things where it's like, look over here, but don't look over here. I'm going to point out everything that the Republicans are doing. I'm going to point out everything the Democrats are doing. Just don't look into what's going on my back door. I don't know what the right or wrong answers are, but I think that this dialogue is important. One question: were you crying because Trump got shot, or were you crying about like the space that we're in America?
No, I'm crying this morning because of the space that we're in right now. Not because specifically he got shot. I'm just crying about America, basically. It's sad that he got shot. I don't want to see no one dead. I'm not sad due to that. I'm just sad because of the space that I'm living in right now. It's just awful. It's awful that we even having this. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You don't feel comfortable in your country, basically.
Exactly. And it's awful that we are even having this discussion. It's awful that everything has happened on January 6th. It's awful about just everything 9/11. It's awful about the war that's going on. It's just awful. I had to stop actually watching the news. Last September, I had a family member that got killed, and actually I was watching someone yesterday, another content creator, and someone asked a question about what happened, and he was like, "Oh, we talk about that another time." So then that's when I put my television on CNN, and I was just like, what?" And like I said, I immediately called my daughter, and the first thing I asked her is, "Your social media is on?" Which I knew it was, and she said, "It's not fake. That's fake, Mom. That's not real."
All right. Well, thank you so much, BR. I think that a lot of people kind of feel how you feel in terms of not necessarily feeling safe or protected. Again, thank you for coming up and sharing your opinion.
Okay, thanks, ma'ams.
We got Mel NYC.
Hey, ma'ams, how you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm doing good. It's the first time I've called into your show, but this was a very troubling weekend. Not, I mean, I don't want to say anything terrible about Trump in that way. It's a life, but I've seen more blood from a mosquito bite. I will say it wasn't really given like it was a total trauma. So I wasn't really, holding any flowers or any, I wasn't doing all that stuff for this man. I think that I hope that they don't use this as a new campaign propaganda. Basically, I hope they don't use it as a way to really get his base to win things. I just think that it's really, as the caller said before, I was really feeling her emotion. It's confusing. It's very confusing time. And I think for me personally, it wouldn't matter if Biden was, and I don't want to say anything bad about him, if Biden was in a medically induced coma, I would still vote for him over Trump, because Biden would have more brain cells in a medically induced coma than Trump has currently. That's kind of what I would say about that. I would say also to Miss Shannon Doherty, on a serious thing, I didn't know that she passed away to this morning. And I grew up with this woman. I grew up with her programs. I watched all her stuff, and I'm just shocked because I listened to her podcast too, and I didn't see that she was, in pain. She was doing all these different events, so it was totally surprising. I'm sending love to her family. It's devastating to us fans that she's gone. That's about it. But thank you for having me up on your show. And yeah,
right. Well, thanks for coming up, Mel. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Meeks, you were up next, but it says device is not connected. So I don't know if you have to try again, but until at least your audio is on, I can't pull you up. You don't have to show your face though. Walking Master, you're up.
Hi, Mims.
Hello.
How are you? One, I wanted to say, I've been listening to you for a while. This is my first time calling in, and I actually got gifted a membership before. So whoever's that person, thank you. Oh. My opinion may be not taken well, but I looked at everything. I'm not either supporter of Trump or Biden. I think both of the Pauls got their issues, and both of them have things that's just not to my liking. So I did not vote, and I will not be voting. But yesterday, to me, what I saw, like, I'm not a social media person.
Do you identify as independent or not that either?
Nothing. I don't identify as anything. And I am a vet, so it's not that I don't like America or anything like that. I just don't align with our politics and the games that they're playing. Like, both candidates, you give us options, and neither one of them is something that I apply to. So that's just how I look at it. But I'm not against politics. I'm just against what they're putting in front of us at the time. But yesterday, to me, I think two things can be true at once. I think it was real, but it also was staged. It was really, unfortunately to say this, to me, it was very comical. What I saw and how I saw Trump react, it made me believe. Now I'm going only what I saw, not anything with people's opinions. I'm going by what I saw with my eyes saw. What I saw, how the crowd reacted, how Trump reacted, the sounds of the bullets. it made a situation that can look staged. The sound of the bullet is like, I'm from a hood, and if you're from a hood, you've been in situations where you hear gunshots that will make you stay and be like, okay, and gunshots that's going to make you run. Like, I had a situation when a friend was like, oh, I'm like, we had this thing in my area on Martin Luther King that there was a shooting the year before. And I asked her, was she going to it this year? She's like, yeah. I was like, they were shooting last year. So then this year they shot. When she came back, she's like, I'm not going no more. They were shooting. I said, they were shooting last year. She was like, no, they were shooting this year. So I'm using that as an example, like those gunshots, people reaction to those gunshots, I could understand what I saw because it did not sound like gunshots that I think most people would think if someone's trying to assassinate someone. It sounds like firecrackers. It sounds like something that would make you look, but it would stop you because you don't know what's going on. That's what I heard, and that's what I feel like the reaction is what I saw. But then again, Trump, it was 5 shots, and then Trump held his ear. None of the Secret Services within those shots got up to protect him. What I saw, he fell to the ground and someone fell on him. I saw the Secret Services jump up after he held his ear. So to me, that's the part that looks staged. When, for me, what I see based on prior events, based on, different things, when people get shoes thrown at them, the Secret Services jumps up at any sign, any commotion, even if they don't know what it is, it's their job to jump up immediately. So in that first shot, I don't understand why Secret Service wasn't running, wasn't jumping, why everyone froze. Like, the people can freeze in the background. I don't understand the people that job is to move on any action, why they didn't move. And then when you see the pictures of the guy on the roof, why was that not a roof that was occupied? When one of the stories from a person that was there, a witness said that they saw the man pull up on a bike in a parking lot that was supposed to be cut off, and only police officers was in that parking lot, empty police officer cars, saw him get off the bike with a yellow bandana around him and walk into a building and was on the roof. Some people say he climbed on the side of the building. Regardless, they said the man was on the roof and could see pictures of that. I don't understand why that was not seen by anyone besides bystanders standing in the outside of a rally, when all of that should still be secured, regardless if there's regular people standing there that can be that close to have a shot at the president. So for me, way everything looks, it looks like it's optics that it could be real, to the point of people out there seeing it's real, the president, it was real, but there's something else to me on the other side that's saying that there's loopholes, that it could have been a setup that everyone didn't know about, but someone did know about it. So that's just my opinion, because it just looks like to me, when Trump fell and when he got back up, talking about, let me get my shoes, let me do the fist pump, that he didn't take it to the severity that it was. And not saying that he knows his stage, but based on the shots, based on his movement, I don't know if he even thought it was as serious as it was until everything may have moved on. His adrenaline could have been running. He may not even know, because when he held his ear, it was kind of like, what's going on? Like, he wasn't scared. So to me, I don't know what's the truth, but I know it looks very winky and very shaky. So I feel like two things can be true at once, and we can't trust our eyes completely because everything does not add up with what we're seeing. That's just my opinion.
All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that, Masterpiece.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your service.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Let's see. Robbie said, did the Secret Service see him? We don't know. Apparently not, until he actually shot, and then they took him out. Blessing Hot Topic says, the first thing I saw was Trump putting up the black fist as though he was in the 1968 Olympics. Black power salute. LO, he's so dramatic and can't be taken seriously. Thank you, Blessings. Beezy says, let's think about this rationally, people. Trump is the most investigated politician ever. You really think he believed he could get away with a staged pew-pew plot? It makes no sense. Thank you, Beezy. Trinisa said, thanks for the super sticker. Imani says, I doubt it's staged. I feel like Trump is trying to benefit from this moment, but it's definitely fishy. I am a Trump supporter, but nervous to call in. Imani, you don't have to be nervous. On this panel, we have open dialogue, so you're always welcome. Shelly Wolf says, T-Unit Records presents D Hood's new classic album, Get Elected or Die Trying, out right now on all platforms. LOL. Shelly is talking about what 50 Cent posted. I saw that on Storm's page yesterday. Thank you for the super chat. Blessing Hot Topics. Trump drinks Kool-Aid. We know he eats at McDonald's. Goddess Noel. Why does Trump eat McDonald's cheeseburgers? Did someone try to poison his salad? Oh my God. Masi, remember, people go to conspiracy theories because they see institutions fail them. Skepticism is valid even if conclusions are misguided. Good point. And thanks for being a member. Shelly says, someone was trying to make America great again, but they missed. Oh, Lord. Shelly, you're trying to get me in trouble. Dr. Bonji, can you drop the link again? Oh, she did call in. Taylor Flex says 6 media companies own our news, with a handful of execs deciding what's credible, serving sponsors, and monopolizing our minds. I absolutely agree with that. That's why we all have to have like our own free thought. Juliana says Generation Z needs help and the law. Vita, Trump was with a black woman for 4 years before he married Melania, and he is not endorsing Project 2025. What? What black woman? Who? What? Omarosa? Who was the black woman Trump was with? I didn't know about that, Vita. You're telling me something. Hera says, I'm not understanding people saying it's fake when you have a family mourning for their loved one dying right in front of them. Hera is talking specifically about the person who lost their life, and I believe 2 other people from the event are in critical condition. Taylor Flex says, Repubs and Democrats, 2 feathers of the same Babylonian bird. Chandra, let's not forget about the Central Park 5, which he never apologized for. Vita, so now you're completely blocked me from the chat. No, we don't block anybody from the chat. Maybe you thought you got blocked, but I didn't block you. See? Joe Biden stopped President Trump's DNA testing at the border. So you're still up. I don't know nobody blocked you, not on this channel. Carlos Maldonado, I really do wish you would one day just once have an open panel about politics, more specifically current politics. I mean, I think that's kind of what we're doing, but I hear you, and I'll definitely consider that, Carlos. Chandra, you cannot credibly say Trump is for black people and you've read Project 2025. There's no way. I'm so baffled by this thinking. Negla, true Republicans do vilify both for the R. Negla has stated that she is a Republican. She's just not a Trump Republican. Beatrice, I blame the Department of Justice for this. I think this is in my opinion. Bliss 42, thank you for becoming a member. And Ms. Leo 882, thank you for becoming a member. Okay, we got Meeks and then Erica. Meeks, you're up.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, ma'ams. This is my first time calling in.
Welcome.
Thank you. Now I'm gonna say this, and I know a lot of persons are not going to like it, but I'm not an American, but the world is watching you guys. I've been following you guys for a long time. I have family members and friends who are living in America. But so that shows I don't have any dog in the fight because I cannot vote in your country. However,
I think the opinion of somebody who's not American, I mean, because we do, whether we like it or not, how America is viewed by other countries is what technically makes us a superpower. So it's important to know how other people feel about us. So go ahead. Don't mention words.
So yes, I'm not going to mince my words because, like I said, I have no dog in this fight. I'm a Bahamian. I live in the Bahamas, which is right. America is on our back door, and like I said, I have a lot of American family members and friends. What I've been watching, based on what happened yesterday, I've been following your elections because usually our election happens right after you guys. So I kind of watch it. But sticking to the topic, I don't think it was staged. I think two things can be true at the same time. I think a lot of persons are in their emotions on both sides, as in every elections. We have the same two-party systems in my country. And when it's election time, it's a fever. Families don't even get together. Okay? I feel like it's disgusting that persons are not looking at the bigger picture, that someone could have died. Regardless of what you think about the former president, he is still a human being. No matter how you feel about him, he still has family members. He still has children. He still has his wife and his kids. He still has people who loves him. Also, the persons that were injured and someone that died, you have to be sensitive to those people's feelings as well. Because if it was your family member, you would not feel the same way. I feel like regardless of your political persuasion, this is not a good look. Nobody deserves to have gunshots ring out at them or even graze or person saying it's fake. Let's wait until the facts come out. I personally feel like he has enemies in his camp. Looking at it, I can see, I looked at it too and I was like, why aren't the persons really ducking in the background? Especially there was a guy in this white t-shirt. He was just looking over. But I can't say because I wasn't there. Maybe they did not think it was as serious as it, you know, came out to be. I feel like former President Trump is a very proud man. So in that moment, I felt like when he put up the fist pump and said fight and all of that, I feel like in his mind, this is my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but with all that has been happening, I feel like it would come as no surprise to him. I feel like he is probably thinking, listen, they're probably going to take me out before or after, if I get in or not. And that's probably why it probably was not a surprise. Also, I appreciated Joe Biden's address to the nation. It was the most coherent I have ever seen him. And I'm sorry, like I said, I'm not an American, but I watched the debate. I watched everything. He was on point. Okay. And I'm happy that he said that, you know, he's not condoning it, and I know persons on the I'm sorry, I know persons on the Republican side is gonna have words about what he said, and the persons who are Democrats are gonna say how they feel about from Trump's side. But it's still a human being. It still was an attempt at his life, even if persons don't think it's real. I feel like from what I know of American pub presidents, Secret Service, why wasn't the area more protected? How was someone able to climb on top of wherever they was with a rifle? Why wasn't the persons on the ground that pointed out that there's someone going up taken more serious? It's just a lot of things to look at, a lot of things to view. It looks suspicious from both ends. I can say at why wasn't his Secret Service more diligent? I think that there is someone in his camp that is not his supporter.
So you do feel like it's a conspiracy, potentially, is what you're saying.
I feel like I do feel like it's going to come from on the inside. It's going to come from on the inside if something do happens to him.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming up, Meeks. I appreciate you. We got straight shooters all over the world. So thank you so much for coming up. You're always welcome.
Yes, you sure do. Thank you so much. And everybody just stay safe out there, and you should feel free to vote for whomever you want to vote for in a country like America. People are watching you guys.
Okay.
That's the land of the free.
Have a good one.
Okay, you too.
Erica, you're finishing us out.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I believe I was at the fact that he had no self-preservation for his own life.
Who's he?
On that stage.
Trump?
Trump. Yeah, he ducked. But yet you stayed around. Like, and I think others had come up here that was like, for someone, everyone is so protective of him for a guy who clearly don't even care about his own life. You duck. Once they cover you, you run off the stage. We have seen assassination attempts before on presidents. You have been trained as to what to do, but you wanted to have a moment. You could have left that stage, make sure you were secure, and came back out. That's, to me, that makes this iffy. And I do believe that there are others who want him harm, and I'm actually surprised that this hasn't been happening, whether it's outside sources or the Democrats themselves. I'm a Democrat, but I don't see all good in Democrats.
Okay.
I about 2025 on Instagram, the kind of coolest stuff or whatever, and it disheartens me that people who did not have to live through slavery are willing to go back saying I'm confused and believe it. They when they tell you who they are, believe it. 2025 is a handbook for any incoming Republican presidential candidates. It's a handbook from the Heritage Foundation. Now
Okay, we got to. We
they've
really gotta
been
hold on
sincere.
because you're the last one, but we gotta stick to the topic. I'm trying this new thing with my panels where we have to be focused on specifically what the topic is. So you kind of gave your opinion on how you feel, and just to paraphrase, you're saying that you do feel like it was staged.
I do feel like it was staged to a certain. I'm not 100%, but from the actions I saw that happened, I felt it was staged or something. Definitely something's going on. There are many ways, and they said that the glass broke the teleprompter because I'm not disputing shots fired or whatever, and I don't think he took a blood pill and popped it by his ear or anything like that. So I do think that possibly shots were fired and he maybe got injured by the teleprompter, but getting shot at is getting shot at. For me, it's we have yet. I would like to see if they release photos of the person who supposedly shot him, because usually they do that, and are eventually we're gonna get pictures of the other.
We already have those photos.
Okay, I didn't see any.
The guy, we'll just say he looks real interesting, and he looks like somebody who might do something like that. I'll show you the photo.
I'll have to look that up. Yeah, I'll have to look that up, and then let the best investigators in the world start doing their work. Twitter. Like I mean, Twitter is way more reliable than the Federal Investigation Bureau and things like that. So I would like people to kind of dig around in this guy's past and see what comes up.
No, I'm talking about his sloping jawline and head, not his color. Anyway, well, thank you so much for coming up, Erica. I appreciate you. You're always more than welcome to come up and state your opinion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You too.
Okay, guys. This was a hell of a conversation. I appreciate everybody who came up, shared their opinions. Carlos says, well, this is a kind of like an open panel, but geared towards a specific event. Carlos is really on me about doing an open panel on politics. Toya, is she from America? No, she was from the islands. Beautiful says, it was not staged. This is giving Trump momentum. He will not leave if elected. His agenda is to be a dictator. Project 2025 is real. Wake up, please. Everybody is. It's a hot button topic. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I didn't even tell you guys to like the video, so hopefully you did, because y'all know I don't do these videos. Like the video on your way out, and rest in peace to all the people that we spoke of earlier. Have a good one, y'all.